Coming back like Jordan, 2-3 to the 4-5. Got the flu, but I'm feeling fresh, so I'm busting back from the trade line. Dame dealing with the range, though. Catch me in the range, cause I got dough. Shooting up the range, trying to catch a dough. Quick the dough, all in the range, though.
Welcome back. Episode 21, Superhero Academy. It's your boy, Libra J. My government name is James Taylor. We're here to talk about a couple things today. Word of the week, I think. The word or phrase of the week going into Monday. My goal with this podcast here today is to motivate you, myself, really. That's where these things come from. Inspiration of self. I was talking to a good friend of mine today. We were working on a couple things together, and he voiced a couple concerns about himself, the various pains that we deal with as people while we're in our journey on the way to accomplishing some goal that we set for ourselves. And on the way to that goal, the different things that we go through, the different lessons that we learn, the feelings that we feel, the emotions that we experience, the energy that's produced and transferred, all of that goes into the journey on the way to the goal. And the amazing thing about humans is our relativity to each other. So the thing that's paying me the most is equal to the thing that has pained you the most. With that taken into perspective, all of us have different satisfaction points. A lot of life is the serotonin that's produced, the dopamine that's produced, the oxytocin that's produced, the hormones the norepinephrine, the adrenaline, the different hormones that are produced in our body that make us who we are, and differing ratios. You could say that people have different satisfaction points. Obviously, when you're talking about dopamine, you're talking about whether it be food or whatever you use, whatever gives you the most dopamine, that thing we tend to gravitate to the most. I said to him that life always has a way of balancing itself out. It has to. That's the law of nature. There is balance achieved in all things at some point in time. We all heard the old adage, "What can happen will happen." It's the actual version of if something bad can happen, like it will happen. It's actually if something can happen, it will happen. That's the if it's meant to be, it will be. But I said, why does it matter when it happens, as long as it happens? Why does it matter when it happens, as long as it happens? If things are going to happen, especially as long as we learn our lesson, embrace the pain, because without pain, there can be no joy. Without joy, there is no pain. They coexist. It's the same coin. As a man thinketh, so shall he be. So the thoughts perpetrate themselves. They manifest themselves through our circumstance. Our circumstance is there, created by our thoughts so that they can manifest themselves. So these inner things that we have that want to get out, that want to manifest themselves, and this is what makes for a beautiful life. Having no regrets, having accomplished your purpose, living with ikigai, having some kind of purpose. Survival of the fittest, your cells, every cell in your body, the survival of the fittest. We start losing calcium and magnesium in our bones get thinner, the less pressure that you put on them, like all these things that we learn about the body and how it works and how it operates. Drink more water and less alcohol and coffee, like all these things that make us who we are. It is the journey. We know this is two. It is the journey, not the goal, that brings us satisfaction. Why does it matter when it happens if it's going to happen? Would you want to know the future? Most people would say no, and that takes the fun out of the game. You don't want you want to know that everything's going to be okay, that everything's going to work out. And that's fine. I'll tell you, there's like, if it doesn't work out, you're probably dead. But as long as you're here and living, you can fall down 9 times, get up 10. As long as you keep getting up, at some point you have to win. That's this balance. You can't just lose unless you're just not trying. And there is no try. You either do or you do not. So as you think, so you be. If you're trying, that's all you will ever be, is trying. You either choose to do or not do. So why does it matter when it happens, if indeed it is going to happen, as long as you do what you're supposed to do? So do as you may to become or be who you are, who you will be, who you see yourself to be. So we've talked about the dopamine. We've talked about your future. We've talked about without pain, there is no joy. The joy is in the journey. Instant gratification, and it's not delayed gratification. Check this out. So gratitude is a practice. Grati. Let's see if we can find out what grati. I bet it's a Latin word. Haha, it is. Gratis. Grati. Gratis comes from the Latin word for favor. Grati is used as both an adjective and an adverb. But however it's used, it means free. Grati, instant gratification, instant gratification. Grati, free favor, instantly. But nothing's free. It has to be taken from somewhere. And I was telling another friend this the other day. I told her that every time we experience an instant gratification now from something other than achieving our goals, for instance, you feel like eating a pint of ice cream, so you do that thinking that it's going to make you happy. You binge watch Netflix all day thinking that that's going to relax you. You drink a lot of Cokes or whatever, binging on Starbucks, some kind of coffee, caffeinated beverage, red line, whatever, to give you a burst of energy. You take out a loan to buy a house. All these things are examples of debiting from our future. Instant grati, free favor now. Or delayed satisfaction. Would you say right now that you want the ultimate life satisfaction? Would you be willing to wait a few years, several years, many years for the ultimate life satisfaction? Like, the key is in the fact that you're trying. You can't sit around and say that at some point you will get the ultimate life satisfaction if you're not trying. You have to be on some type of journey, and for that journey you must choose a path. You can't stay off the path. Check this out. So the path, the way, the truth is you. That's your choice. Whatever is truest for you. Live your truth. As long as you live your truth, as long as you live your truth to the best of your abilities, always learning through the pain, embracing the pain, because in the pain there is joy due to your learning and education. And therefore you are now transcending the person who you used to be. Survival of the fittest, because you are choosing to continue your evolution, always evolving, like the locust or the snake that sheds its own skin, that is no longer serving a purpose, like the trees who let their leaves fall in the winter so that they can grow again in the spring as they're taking in more sun. Like all these things that die in nature, survival of the fittest, even the fittest mindset, the mindset moving forward, because as a man thinketh, so shall he be. So if you are not, again, as a child, if you're not as a child, always learning and inquisitive and curious and seeking new experiences to continue expanding that cortex, that brain, your ability to take in new information, the neuroplasticity that Andrew Huberman is making so common as a word, the ability for your brain to get new information and retain it. So why does it matter when it happens as long as it happens? If you're following your ikigai, your purpose, your truth, on your path, always seeking to get better, survival of the fittest, knowing that in your pain, in your suffering, there is joy always on the other side. You will experience delayed satisfaction. So, to delay your satisfaction and the real satisfaction, the realest satisfaction, honestly, here's the kicker. This is why there's no reason to be afraid of death if you are living on your path. The realest satisfaction will be on your deathbed, looking back at all the things that you accomplished and went out to do in your life. I'd be hard pressed to say that you're going to experience the ultimate satisfaction anytime before you die, if you've lived a good life worthy of living. When could that time be? So as long as you go out and you try, you get up the 10th time, the 100th time, the 1,000th time, we're out of time. So that must be it for the day. Episode 21. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will leave you with this. And we'll run it back down. Why does it matter when it happens, if indeed it's going to happen? What can happen will happen, as long as something is in motion. What is in motion will stay in motion. As a man thinketh, so shall he be. Your thoughts produce the circumstances through which they manifest themselves. Survival of the fittest. Everything that is old passes away and all things become new. Childlike mindset, always exploring. Would you want to know the future? Again, most people would say no, because that takes all the fun out of life, knowing in that the fun is in the journey. That is the fun, the experience of going through all the things. The brain wants to expand by experiencing new things. So anyway, we're not going to go there. That's for another episode. It is the journey, not the goal, that brings the true satisfaction. Would you want the ultimate life satisfaction now or later? Would you want to experience all that life has to give you, all the feelings, that moment that you're looking for? Would you want to experience that now or hold it off for a while? That is the choice. Because instant gratification, free favor now, instantly, or delayed satisfaction, sati, another Latin phrase, meaning enough. When you're satiated. And when are you truly satiated? And we're really wrapping up now. When are you truly satiated? When you're eating. When you've chewed and ate your meal mindfully. If you live a mindful life, you will experience the ultimate satisfaction, which at some point, if you live the best life that you can, will be on your deathbed when you say, look at what I've done.
Coming back like Jordan, 2-3 to the 4-5. Got the flu, but I'm feeling fresh, so I'm busting back from the trade line. They ain't dealing with the range though, catch me in the range, cause I got dough. Shooting up the range, trying to catch a dough, quick the dough, all in the range though.